I nearly entered rehab yesterday. That is the biggest pile of crap I've ever seen on television in my life.
A taste of entitlement, greed, avarice and deception.
What mother or father in the name of sweet Jesus has enough time to create a fruit plate at 6 o'clock on a Monday morning when there's toast throwing around the room?
The couple have been begging for privacy, and South Park has done a parody of this, and apparently it has really upset Meghan Markle.
I'm opening this cylinder now. If you're watching, what a ta-da!
Who just went off on these, what did she call them? Queen's husband was dying, and she went on Oprah and suggested one or both of them are raging racists. She couldn't have cared less. She doesn't care about anyone other than herself.
They say Hollywood loyalty lasts only until the next juicy headline. And right now, Meghan Markle is discovering just how thin the line between gratitude and self-preservation really is. Flashback to 2020. The Sussexes had just detonated Megxit. Paparazzi were circling their rented Vancouver hideout, and royal security was hours from being yanked.
We want our privacy and safety, but we'll go be at Beyonce concerts and do whatever we want. Oh, look at him. It's my fox. Oh, yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Enter Tyler Perry, the billionaire showrunner with a private jet, a $25 million Beverly Hills fortress, and enough personal bodyguards to stage a small invasion. One late-night phone call later, Harry and Meghan were wheels up, sipping chamomile while the world wondered where they'd vanished. Safe behind Perry's gates, they regrouped, rebranded, and re-emerged on Oprah declaring how this guardian angel had become the family we chose. Back then, Meghan couldn't stop saying his name. It rolled off her tongue like a protective spell. Fast forward to this year, and that spell has evaporated. On red carpets, in glossy profiles, even on her own podcast teasers, the Duchess now refers to Perry's mansion as a friend's spare place in LA. Reporters lob softball questions about supportive allies, and she pirouettes away with phrases like, our wonderful network, or people who showed up for us, never daring to attach the two words that once opened every gratitude list, Tyler Perry. The disappearing act isn't subtle, it's surgical. At the Paley Center's spring tribute, Perry strode the carpet alone while Meghan arrived separately, hugged every Netflix exec in range, then navigated the ballroom like the floor was lava. One misstep might land her near the man who once saved her hide. Cameras caught them in the same frame exactly 0 times. Coincidence? Not if you know how meticulously the Montecito operation plots a photo op. So why erase the billionaire benefactor who practically auditioned as her children's godfather? Look to the calendar. Weeks before Perry's name began vanishing, rumors started bubbling that one of his longtime collaborators was preparing a bombshell legal move. Sure enough, actor Derek Dixon's lawsuit landed with seismic force. Accusations of late-night mentorship morphing into unwanted advances, big checks offered for silence, NDAs thicker than Hollywood scripts. Perry's camp shouted extortion, but algorithms don't care. Headlines pairing Tyler Perry with harassment raced across every feed. Suddenly, that once golden name threatened to turn Meghan's lifestyle brand Pinterest board into a PR minefield. Her team's solution? Hit mute before anyone noticed she'd ever pressed play. Critics call the move cold. Strategists call it survival. Meghan's American Riviera Orchard relaunch, already face-planted when hand-ribboned jars of strawberry jam became late-night comedy fodder. Retail partners got spooked, investors slowed their roll, and the Duchess quietly swapped the clunky moniker for the sleeker as ever, promising candles, linens, maybe pet biscuits, anything except another meme-able jar. She can't afford more brand turbulence, especially with her new podcast hanging by a thread after 5 episodes.
One of the executives came out and said they quite literally have no talent, but worse than that, they don't want to work. Never, ever, because they don't really know how to make money, right? Their entire brand is talking about their own victimhood. They want them to continue to trash the royal family.
Sponsors despise chaos. Whispers about lawsuits 2 degrees from their spokesperson send marketing VPs sprinting for the exit. Every time Meghan mouths Tyler's name, she risks tethering as ever to a man whose Google results now feature the word lawsuit in 72-point font. Silence becomes the cheapest insurance policy money can buy. But Tyler Perry isn't just a footnote in her fairy tale escape. He's a vault of receipts. He arranged private protection when Scotland Yard stepped back. He drew up contingency routes past paparazzi choke points. He even helped workshop that landmark Oprah interview. What to reveal? what to hold, where to sprinkle just enough intrigue to keep Netflix bids soaring. Somewhere on his phone sit late-night messages, frantic voice notes, and maybe a few drafts of statements that never saw daylight. If he feels slighted, one screenshot could upend the Duchess's carefully lacquered narrative faster than a palace press leak. Friends insist he's too classy to clap back, yet those same friends admit he's seething. The man who opened his fortress is now persona non grata, with the woman who once called him family. Even billionaires have boiling points, and Perry's empire relies on spotless public goodwill. Getting ghosted while under siege is a bruise money can't ice. Some observers shrug. This is Meghan's pattern. When stylist Jessica Mulroney's white privilege scandal exploded, the Duchess's once daily Insta tags vanished overnight. No public breakup, just an eerie page refresh erasing every trace of a bestie who'd planned her baby shower. When palace aides accused Meghan of bullying, she framed it as a smear campaign and never spoke those staffers' names again. Her orbit isn't a circle, it's a revolving door. Allies rotate in during triumphs and spin out once they clutter the optics.
I might watch it in the same way that I turn my head to see a car accident.
It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time.
These two are now an international embarrassment.
Here's the problem. We don't like you, Meghan Markle.
The message to anyone still orbiting her world is unmistakable. Loyalty is a lease, not a deed, and the renewal clause hinges on staying scandal-free. Still, this Perry silence feels riskier. He isn't a stylist or junior aide, he's Hollywood royalty, and lawsuits love discovery subpoenas. Imagine a courtroom screen glowing with WhatsApp logs from the frantic days after Megxit, text bubbles, strategizing press angles, brainstorming brand deals, maybe even fact-checking Meghan's claims of royal ambush. One contradictory timestamp, and the Duchess's "Speak My Truth" mantra crumbles into "Edit my truth for broadcast." Her critics would feast, sponsors would bolt, and the palace would smile a very tight smile across the Atlantic. Meanwhile, the Sussex brand shows hairline cracks. Netflix hasn't greenlit another marquee docuseries. Spotify severed its golden handshake deal. People magazine shifted focus back to Princess Kate's health battle, leaving Meghan scrambling for sympathetic column inches.
Oh, shut up.
No! I refuse! I'm sick of it!
Now, look, Maureen.
I can't.
Look at this.
I can't.
Like, guys, you don't got to do this. Please, I'm begging you to stop.
Meghan, I'm begging you to stop now.
What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are?
No, I don't want to cook again, Meghan. My God, take a break.
Want respect? Try shutting up.
Montecito insiders whisper that PR retainers have doubled because every week demands a new fire blanket strategy. Staff turnover is accelerating, veteran consultants replaced by crisis management rookies who whisper damage control more often than growth. In that atmosphere, even a friendly billionaire morphs into a ticking grenade. Yet the Duchess smiles, on cue, spreads messages of joy and healing, and posts sun-soaked shots of backyard roses as though the fragrance alone can mask the whiff of panic. It's a confident performance, but seasoned Hollywood watchers know an unscripted outburst when they see one, and Perry's reputation for directness looms large. He could bury his hurt in a charity gala speech, praising forgiveness while slipping a polished knife between the lines. Or he could do nothing at all, letting tabloids speculate until silence itself becomes an indictment. Either way, Meghan loses the clean narrative she needs to sell candles and calm-voiced audio diaries. The irony? This PR surgery might backfire precisely because it's so precise. Social media sleuths have already stitched compilations. 2021 Meghan, eyes shining, praising Uncle Tyler, versus 2025 Meghan skating past him like he's invisible. The side-by-sides rack up millions of views, each captioned, "Where'd the loyalty go?" Every delete key she taps leaves a faint ghost line, and internet archivists adore ghost lines. If Perry eventually breaks his silence, even gently, the ensuing roar will eclipse any benefit her hush has bought. One dignified, "I was disappointed to learn Meghan no longer feels the need for my friendship," and hashtags will erupt overnight. Still hanging over all of this is the palace's sealed bullying report, said to outline incidents that contradict Meghan's compassionate activist branding. If just one former aide breaks an expiring NDA and teams up with a bored Fleet Street editor, the Duchess of Determined narratives will be drowning in raw counter stories. Perry unlocking his vault at the same moment would be less a PR crisis and more a narrative apocalypse. So Meghan's best-case scenario is maintaining radio silence and praying the lawsuit settles quietly, but best-case scenarios seldom survive the Hollywood rumor mill. Producers sniff drama like blood and water, and streaming services love redemption arcs, especially ones involving fallen angels who once looked bulletproof. There's a reason your feed keeps resurfacing clips of celebrities blindsided by ex-friends on talk shows. The public craves the unrehearsed gasp. If Perry delivers that moment, every algorithm will amplify it, and no Montecito media coach can outrun a trending topic that juicy. In the end, the Duchess who left royal rigidity to find her voice may learn an uncomfortable truth. Other people have voices too, and some of them remember the parts she'd rather edit out. Erasing Tyler Perry from her origin myth won't delete his memories, his texts, or his very public hurt. If he feels used, or if the lawsuit forces discovery, the receipts will land on court dockets, in newsrooms, across YouTube channels where commentary sharks already circle. And once those receipts surface, the carefully crafted Markle brand of empowerment meets elegant entrepreneur, risks being recast as a masterclass in transactional loyalty. Until then, watch the stillness. When Meghan posts breezy photos of rescued chickens or citrus-lit kitchens, note the missing faces in the background. Listen to each podcast introduction for names conspicuously absent. In Hollywood, loyalty might be currency, but silence is a high-interest loan. The longer Meghan avoids repaying Tyler Perry with a simple public thank you or even a polite acknowledgement, the more costly the debt becomes. And if there's anything Hollywood loves more than a meteoric rise, it's the moment gravity finally has its say.